In this screencast, we're going to look at how you can make a task sheet for your students and then give them all an individualized copy where you have access to it and you can see their progress. So it's sharing a document with your class. What this is about is when you have a common task or an assignment or something for students that you want them to do, and normally what you would do is go and photocopy it, give each kid a photocopy, and then they'd work through the sheet, they'd bring it to you, and you might check it for errors and then go back and forward, and you might have that kind of thing happening. Or you might they might set up a task that they do and they email it to you and you have a check and then you email it back. So it's to try to set up a process or a way that can be made a bit simpler. It enables you to be able to give really good feedback to the students at any time and really quickly. You'll be able to see their progress of what they are doing, and also you'll be able to see whether they're on task, because sometimes in the class they'll have their laptops up and they'll be working away and you're not really sure if they're on track, but with this you can actually see what they're doing at any stage to see if they're actually engaged in what they should be doing, and you'll be able to see their progress. It's kind of like a mail merge, where you set up a mail merge and merge all the documents together and make it all individualized. Instead of giving them an individualized letter, we are giving them an individualized electronic document. The steps are kind of the same, and there's a couple of ways you can do it, but in general you want to create your task sheet, and that's what we start with. So it might be a class task that you're doing in the classroom. It might be a homework thing. It could be like a project, or it could be an assessment item, and that's the same thing that's going to go to every student. You can also set this up so you can differentiate, so different kids will get different documents, but at this time we're just going to give everyone the same kind of thing. So you need to create your assessment task. You then need to create a spreadsheet with your names and email addresses in it, and then you merge it together. So let's have a look at what that looks like. So I've made up this brilliant task here that's just in a document. So I've created a document, put it in my drive. I haven't shared it with anyone. I'm the only one that owns this at the moment. And as you can see, I've innovatively called it Task 1, and I've given some instructions there, and I've just put 2 questions. And that can be as detailed as you want or whatever. So that's my main task. That's what's going to go to the kids. I then create a spreadsheet, and I'm using Sheets inside Google Drive. So I've gone to Sheets, opened up a sheet, and I created one. I've just created some headings here. I've got the name of the student, which is very helpful. I've got their email address, and you could have some other things here. So you could have first name, last name if you wanted to. You might have home class as well, to give you a bit of an indication of what they're in, or it could actually be your class. So it could be 8 English A, and that could be in there too. So you've got a bit more of an idea of the student work, because at the end of the day we can save this sheet with any details that is on this spreadsheet can be saved under that student's name. So I've just got 2 fields, and it's quite simple. What we need to do then is, in our document, put merge fields. This is like when you do a mail merge and it's looking to get data and put it into your document. So to create a merge field using this, on my document here, I want to know whose name it is. I want to know who's this. So if I just use the 2 kind of greater than, less than signs and type in name, like that, it will then go to the spreadsheet when I merge it and put their name there. If you've got home class, you then put home class. So this little badge here with the double brackets is just the mail merge that it's going to be doing. So what we're going to do is join our spreadsheet and our document together. Good thing to check is that you've got it done properly. Now notice here I've got a capital N. Theoretically it will pick it up, but I'll just go back here and change that to name like that, so it's the same. So when I merge this, it'll have task 1, and then it will have the student's name underneath it. That's the goal. Very cool. So we've done our merge fields. Then what we do to make this work is use a script. A script is like a mini program that people have written that will sit inside your spreadsheet and carry out a number of things for you. So it's kind of like a macro if you used macros before in Excel, but there are a lot of people that are doing these, and you can just grab them and use them, and they're all free. There are a couple that do this very well. One's called AutoCrat, which we'll use today, and there's another one called Dr. Puss, which gives you a lot more flexibility and control over the document. What they'll let you do, they'll let you create an individualized document. You'll store them in a shared folder. You'll get access to you and to the student. You're allowed to comment and draft at any stage. You're allowed to see what work is being done, and it allows you to collect the work at the end. So you can collect it in all electronically, and you've got it there, and you don't have to worry about lost pieces of paper and those kind of things as well. And this may not be suited for your subject, but it does work for some things. what we need to do is we need to install this script, and once you've done that, there's a menu within inside the AutoCrat script that will show you how to do it. So I'll go through the steps slowly and you can follow it through, and there's some screencasts on the web if you wanted to follow it up as well. So I'll go back to my sheet, and in this sheet I want to insert the script. So if I come down to insert here, and if you have a look at all these things, I can insert comments and charts and images, and then down here I've got a script. So I'm going to insert a script, and what this does is goes to the script gallery and has a look at all the scripts that people have written for this. So I'm just going to type in AutoCrat, search, and it will go through and find it, and it will come up with a Spanish version. Unless you speak Spanish, it probably won't choose that one, or the English version. And he's actually Stillman, the guy who wrote this, Andrew Stillman, is working on a new one, which is a beta version, which has still got a couple of bugs in it, but it's quite cool. But I'm going to use the older version because at the moment it's the best. It's working. It's very, very stable. So it's going to install it, and it goes install, and then it comes up with this tab that says I need to authorize to run it. Click on continue, because what it's going to do is it's going to grab information off my spreadsheet and you're going to send it out on behalf of me to the students. And so all this information here is saying that this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to send an email out, we're going to use our servers to send it through, and you're going to manage this form and this data, or not this data, this sheet from your drive. So you just go accept and it will do it. So basically it's just saying I want you to be able to do this for me, and it works very nicely. So once you've said OK to that, you'll come up here and you'll see on your top menu bar you now have another one on the end of it called AutoCrat. So it's actually installed the script to sit inside this document, and it only works in this document. You have to install it every time if you want to do this repeatedly. So step one, choose a template. So now it's saying what document do you want me to merge the data with from this spreadsheet. So if you go choose template, it'll go through and choose the last thing you've been working on, which is pretty cool. Or you can search for it as well, so you can search for everything you want. So here I have the one that I've just been working on now, and I can go select. Or you can search in here. You can do this normal kind of Google search for all your documents. That's the one. So now it's going through that, and what it's going to do is it's going to look at my my thing and look at my document and see what fields need to be merged. And notice that it's picked up the fact that I've got name there. That's good. So I can just go cool, save my settings. So now it knows that it's going to use the name off my spreadsheet and put it into that document. It then asks me, where does my data come from? And at the moment I've only got one sheet in this spreadsheet, so it's grabbing it from sheet 1. And you'll see down the bottom there's a on your tab at sheet 1 there. Go save. So now it knows it wants to merge the two things together, so it's ready to roll. Now it's asking for the merge conditions. Now I often skip this step because I don't need to do it, but you might put in here if you're differentiating the course. So you might have a higher group, a middle group, and a lower group, and you might have different documents for that. So you can put the little merge conditions here, so it grabs different documents for each of those kids. So if it's the high level kid, it might grab this document. If it's the middle, it might grab this one. If it's the lower, it might grab this one. So I just leave that blank at the moment because I'm not using that. So I go submit. And this is when it starts kind of making sure that it's going to map the right things. It wants to grab the name from the spreadsheet and make sure it puts it into the name from the document. So you can see here it's got the sheet header. So it wants to grab the name and it wants to put it under wherever I've got the greater than less than signs and the name in it. It's going to put that in my document. So it's going to grab whatever's there, put it in a document, then make another one. Save mappings. It does that. And you can have multiple ones of them. I'm only using the name in this one to keep it really simple. And then it asks for the merge type. Now, what I want to do is I want to make a document up for this, and you'll notice that what it's done here, it's got the date, name, email, and document merge. So this is all the information it's got. And it's got a little dollar sign in front of it, which gives us a bit of flexibility, which I'll show in a minute. I want to make it a merge document, and I want to put it in a new folder. I want to have, so I've got that, and I'm going to do it demo screencast. Cast, and then I want to do I want to put their name on the document that I'm saving as well as in the document that I'm making. So notice I've grabbed the dollars name here, which comes from up here, which comes from my spreadsheet, and it's going to put it there. So every time it creates a document, it's going to put demo screencast for Fred Blogs or Joe Smith or whatever. And so you can also put, if you have got the class there, you can put the class there as well. So that's pretty cool. And it says down here, select the type of document you want to create. Now you might just want to do a PDF that gets sent to the kids and then they can print it out. Cool. And then they'll just take that copy each. It'll be an individualized copy to the kid. You'll keep a copy of it as well. They'll get an e-copy and they can use it as either a soft copy to reference, or they can print it out and have a hard copy. So I'm going to do a Google Docs. I want them to be able to write in it. I also want to save the links in my spreadsheet. So what this does is it will save the links to the document that I'm creating in my spreadsheet so I can track it down. I can email and share the merged documents, which I'll do. And in doing that, I can put an email to them to say, hey, you've got a document coming. So I'm just going to go. Remember, we've got the kids' email. I'll come up to the top here. I'll copy this, put it there, and I'll do demo sheet, and I can do a short note there. And if I want to put their name in there, I can go hi, I can grab the name from here, name, blah, 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 blah. Very cool. So then it's a personalized email that will go to them. Then the attachment type, I can either put a PDF, a view-only document, so they can only look at it, an editable document, which is what I want, or a comment-only, or a publicly viewable link where everyone has the same link. I want to go an editable Google Doc. So it's a recipient editable Google Doc, which means they're the only ones that are going to be able to see this. So when we've done all that, we come down here and just go Save Settings, and then AutoCrat will save those settings for us. And when you come back to your spreadsheet, you'll see that there's a header up here, and it can ask you to preview it now, you can run your merge now, or just keep your settings. Okay, I'm going to go run merge now and see how this rolls. And it will take some time to do it because it's got to do this individually for every student. So if you've got a class of 20, it'll roll through and do it, and just take a bit of time depending on how big your document is and what you're doing. In the background, you can see the spreadsheet is changing, and when this window disappears, you can see actually what it's done. So the more kids you have in the class, the better it is, the longer it will take, sorry. If you have a look here, it then comes to us and says your merge has been completed for 3 records. Once it's finished merging, you'll see that what it does is it gives you some information about the merge, of the ID of it, where it's located, a link to the document, and then the status of the merge. When you come back to your folder where you created it in, you'll find there's now a new merge document folder. You can change the name if you want for this because it makes it easy for you to manage. If you open that up, you'll now find that you've got the documents for all your class sitting in there. So it's all ready to roll. It's sitting there quite nicely. So if I now open up this first one, what you'll see is you'll see the document created for the student, which has been personalized. So not only do you know whose it is, they know who it is, and they can fill it out. And as they are filling it out, you can see the progress. So in this window here, you can see when they've accessed it last and how they are traveling with it. You can add comments to it and those kind of things from there. So that is how you use AutoCrat to set up a document that you can share to individuals in your class so that it is personalized for them, hopefully making workload a bit quicker.